Good afternoon and welcome to another video. Today we are looking at WWE 2K25. They have just dropped their second patch in a week, patch 1.04, and it's looking to address many of the problems that we've been facing over the last couple days in the 2K25 early access. So if you're at all like me in the last few days, you've been wondering, man, what should I play? And you've been playing nothing but My Faction, Universe, and maybe you've been going for the Showcase mode, you'll have realized you were only doing this because the My Rise mode was not available to you. So over the last few days, people like myself who are on consoles and PC have been trying to access the My Rise mode within 2K25, and however, the game instantly crashes as soon as the mode is selected. Now, funnily enough, this is actually an issue that I found happened last year with the same error code, and it was determined that that had something to do with Created Superstars. So I thought maybe that would be a similar situation for 2K25, considering they're obviously built on the same foundation, like the same game essentially. So I went to the deletion utility to try and delete all of the created content that I had already downloaded. However, deletion utility was also causing the game to crash. So I went onto the 2K forums and I found that there was already a bug report for the My Rise crash where the game just wasn't loading. However, there was not a bug report for the deletion utility, so I did report that this morning, and I did hear back from 2K support asking me to clear my system cache, which is something you can actually do on a PlayStation 5, which is quite interesting. I learned that today. However, that wasn't the problem being addressed here. Interestingly though, what I found odd was that the response I got from 2K support was to clear the system cache on my PS5 instead of just, yes, we're working on it and it's currently being rolled into a patch. Just seems odd. But looking into the patch notes for patch 1.04 that literally just dropped 20 minutes ago, you can see that we have our general stability improvements, which is just tech speak for the game now runs a little bit better and it might crash less. The main one for me is the ability to launch My Rise and the ability to launch the deletion utility. So I have actually just tested this on my PlayStation, and yes, now that the game is updated to 1.04, you update the save file, you try to launch My Rise and you try to launch the deletion utility, and now it works. Also, I hadn't even gone into the deletion utility before the game was having issues. Credit to Visual Concepts for improving the way that the deletion utility actually gives you the information on the screen, because it actually looks really clean this time. You can actually see where all the different, like, the most amount of storage that you're using for these specific things, it's broken down really well. There also apparently was an issue putting Sensational Sherry and Shawn Michaels together when used as managers. I actually think I might have seen this on a New Legacy video. New Legacy Inc. played on their midnight launch stream. I think somebody had used the Shawn Michaels and the Sensational Sherry manager outfit, and during their entrances they were just not wearing anything, so I'm assuming that's probably what that is addressing. So the island does have another bug on the board. Moving over to the 2K25 live issue trackers, you can see that there is a bug on the board for players experiencing long load times. So there is actually a comment from a 2K dev or community manager here saying that the team is aware of the issue and they're looking into it. However, patch 1.04 does not address that specific issue, it just addresses the issues with incorrect superstar portraits displaying when loading into matches. Now, I personally haven't played enough of the island to see this happen. Perhaps this is only happening on multiplayer matches, and so far I've only really played the tutorial, like starting mission, so I haven't really had a chance to see that yet. Moving into gameplay, there was a concern apparently that the first entrance into a wargame match would remain outside of the ring. I'm not sure what that means specifically. There was an issue that I'd seen where during the entrance of the second person, the first person would be like glitched outside of the ring. I'm assuming that's probably what they're talking about here. But I haven't seen a Wargames match where somebody had started outside the ring. It was just during the entrance. It's also addressed concerns of chain wrestling not triggering. So I've actually not seen that much chain wrestling. So when I've been playing the game, I've been playing through My Rise. I haven't been playing My Rise, it's the whole point of this patch. When I've been playing through My Faction, I've been playing Showcase mode and quite a lot of exhibition matches. Chain wrestling never seems to trigger, even though I've got it on. I know that you can manually trigger it by holding the circle button, but it never really seems to work. And I was able to do it in the tutorial. I was able to do it in some random singles match that I did do, but the vast majority of matches that I have been doing, it hasn't appeared. So perhaps this is what that is referring to, and maybe as of now it will appear more often. On the flip of this, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like the yay boos, I don't know what's called, the trading blows minigame, I feel like that happens way too often in the game. I was under the impression that it can only happen once per match, but I'm seeing it happen twice a match, maybe sometimes 3. Like, it happens a lot. And I wonder if maybe that's a byproduct of the chain wrestling not working. Maybe there is also like an underlying system that isn't working for the trading blows minigame either. Another thing they've addressed is the concerns that the LED barricades are not displaying the appropriate damage. This is something that I've also experienced when playing the game. When I've been throwing people into the barricade, I'm expecting to see some damage to the barricade, thinking this is a cool new mode. I have yet to see any damage to the barricade, so I'm guessing at some point after the 1.0 release this stopped working, because it was clearly working in the press events because all the preview footage had the barricades working, but now when I was trying to do it there was no damage being done. So hopefully that's been fixed now, and I will try and give it a go. And the last thing on the list here is addressed reported concerns relating to the coloring of custom images. I did see on Twitter that some creation fans online were saying that the custom images were the colors were being changed. I think there was somebody doing like a red logo on some trunks, and when they applied it to their created superstar, it like changed it to like an off red, almost like a pinky. It was really bizarre, but the colors were definitely not right. So this seems to address that, which is good. If they could address other things like perhaps the spacing issues in creating an arena, this has been bothering me for the longest time. As somebody who really enjoys creating an arena, it's always bothered me that you can't put certain items in certain places. And the create an arena, it overall just seems really buggy. For example, if you were to pick the left side of the stage, when you select it, it just automatically gets moved to the stage floor and it just stays there. If you select the right side of the stage, you then get a prompt to move it wherever you need to move it to, and a lot of times its default position is not available. This was actually a bug that was in last year's game that I was hoping to be addressed this year, and they've yet to do that, unfortunately. So we're still having issues with creating an arena where you can't even put things in their default position because the game says that that overlaps with the stage or something. So, but really that's going to be it for the 1.04 patch notes. Is there anything in there that has affected you directly? I know for sure for me personally, I'm excited to finally get into My Rise. It seems like such a cool mode, and I haven't been able to play any of it because it just keeps crashing my game. The workaround for that at the time was to delete your save, launch My Rise, and then do other things, which frankly I was just not going to do because that would involve losing in the VC that I paid for. It would involve having to redo showcase mode, and it would also mean having to do more My Faction or more My Faction stuff again, and frankly I just wasn't going to do that. If you want to see more 2K25 stuff, I have videos here, so if you want to check them out, that would be much appreciated. If you've enjoyed this update, please consider liking and subscribing for more 2K25 stuff. That's going to be us for today. I hope everyone enjoys My Rise now that we get to play it. Bye for now.